Okay. Good afternoon to all. So now I am going to take English for the class 12th. Now let me tell about me. I am Mr. Sridaran, MA, B.Ed, MPhil, and I have worked as an English teacher and lecturer for the past 33 years. Now I am going to take up the first lesson of the 12th class, that is the two gentlemen of Varuna. So before taking up the lesson, I must ask one question to the viewers, the students, or the listeners. What is life? First of all, you must know what is life. So life is for everything. And in our life, we have to achieve many things. And in the third lesson, we are going to see in Chelmira being alive. There also we are going to see the importance of life. And without life, there is no meaning at all. In that case, if you know about the importance of life, life includes love, devotion, sacrifice, and sincerity. So we have to love our neighbors, our relations. For example, first our parents, because parents are our first God. So in that case, we have to love our parents. Then we have to see our devotion. When we want to dedicate our life, there should be some devotion. Then only we can accept our life is fulfilled. And while doing our service devotedly, we have to sacrifice something. We have to sacrifice something. So at this stage, what the students should sacrifice? The students should sacrifice their laziness. So they should have strong-minded, they should have determination, and they should sacrifice their laziness and the quarrel nature and a troublesome nature. Then next we have to see the sincerity. So if we work sincerely, we can achieve many things. You know very well, arise, awake, and stop not till our goal is achieved, or till our goal is reached or achieved. So in our life, we have to achieve many goals, because we are human beings. We have our duties. Then when we have to do our duties, we must know what are the duties and what stage we are in now, and what we have to do, what are the responsibilities that we have. Everything we should bear in mind. As you are the students, your duty is to learn and read, write, and try to get good marks. And you must satisfy your parents by achieving good ranks, so that your parents will be happy, and they know our efforts or how they are working hard to achieve their goals. Because your life is in your hands. Parents are just tools. In that case, what we have to do? We have to see our responsibilities, and we must be responsible children to our parents. Then next, now we know what is life. So when you know what is life, there are many incidents in our life. So before taking up the lesson, now I want to tell you some words regarding the functions of story. There are many words which are related to the story. So first one, a story, tale, fiction, fairy tale, novel, short stories. These are the types of stories. So when we want to know how our forefathers, how our great leaders have sacrificed their lives for the sake of their country and for the sake of doing good things, for doing welfare to their society. So in that case, all things we can learn, we can read from the story. Tale is also a name or other name of the story, and the fiction is another name, and the fairy tales where animals are talking. So of course you might have read story books like Ambli Mama and other stories. There, where the animals take the part in the story and they are telling something to the human beings, moral. Then novel is a big story, and then short story, a story which is meaningful and which has a moral. All the stories should have a moral. Then only we can understand what had happened, what is happening, then what we have to do. Then that is the different types of the words which are used for using the story. So this is also a story. This is also a story. Okay. So till now I told you about the other names of stories, the story, the word, and then now let us come to our lesson. So our lesson, first lesson is Two Gentlemen of Verona. Here in our 12th class, we have 6 units. 6 units in prose 6 lessons, and the poem 6 poems, and the supplementary that is stories 6 stories. Now let me tell the for unit 1, the first, the Two Gentlemen of Verona, and this story is written by A.J. Cronin. So he belongs to Scotland, and he has written many novels and many stories, and each and every story there is moral behind it. Each and every story there is a moral. So this story also tells morals. What is the moral that we are going to learn from this story is with the importance of life, and we have to achieve something in our life to get good names, and also we have to life consists of our love, devotion, sacrifice, and sincerity. So these are the theme of the story. This is in the form of the lesson. So here we can see the characters, how the two little boys worked hard to save their sister Lucia, who was suffering from tuberculosis. So you know about tuberculosis, that is the short word for tuberculosis, TB. You know very well how it causes and how it affects the person, and how the person suffers because of TB. You know very well. Then this girl, Lucia, the sister of the two brothers, Jacopo and Niccolo, is suffering from tuberculosis, and these two brothers, Jacopo and Niccolo, wanted to spend the medical bill for their two sister. So, and nowadays, you know, each and every medicine is costly. And if you know very well, because as today, what is going on, everything you know very well. Because what was happened, we are reading in the story, we are reading in the book or newspaper, then what is happening that we are seeing or we are witnessing, and what will happen, that is in your hands. Because you are responsible and you are the future leaders. Okay. Then here nowadays medicines are very costly, and moreover you know very well about the condition of the hospital and everything, because as it is prevailing the situation you know very well. So I don't tell more in this regarding the expenses. Their sister was admitted in the hospital, and she was undergoing treatment, and to pay the bill, these two boys, Jacopo and Niccolo, they are doing many hard things, because life is full of not a bed of roses but full of troubles. So we have to overcome everything. So in this way, how these two boys, they are giving a lesson to the readers by working hard and by doing the hard work to pay the bill for the sisters, medical expenses. So the writer wants, the narrator or the writer wants to tell the way how everyone has to feel their responsibility, because as in life, especially the family, If you see the family, father, mother, and brothers and sisters. So these are the family members, and these family members are related, and they have to live in one head, that is under family. And if anyway we are going to read, see how the two children lost their parents, and how they are going to pay the bill for the sisters for medical expenses. We are going to see in the form of lesson, and let me explain by seeing the book so that we can know. Now we are going to see the lesson, Two Gentlemen of Verona. So before taking up, let me explain what is use of language. Why should we need a language? Language is very useful to express our ideas, our actions, our thoughts. Everything we have to explain, we have to communicate in the form of language. So language, as we know, the dress of thought. Here the language functions to communicate our feelings, our actions, and our ideas to others. For that purpose, we need language. And this English language also helps to express our ideas, our actions in English language, in English, that's all. So, like Tamil, English is also one of the important nowadays thing to communicate. Now, this story is also communicate something to the readers. So here is a story about love, devotion, sacrifice, sincerity, and maturity displayed by two little boys in their actions to save the life of their sister who suffers from tuberculosis of the spine. Read the story to find out how their actions give a new hope for humanity. Because as I told you, we should have hope, we should have determination, we should have courage, so that we can achieve our goals. Otherwise, we cannot achieve anything. So, in that case, this story also tells how these two little boys, they are undergoing many works to pay the bill. Now, let me come to the lesson. As we drove through the foothills of the Alps, two small boys stopped us on the outskirts of Verona. Verona is the name of place. They were selling wild strawberries. Don't buy, warned Lucky, our cautious driver. You will get much better fruit in Verona besides these boys. So the lesson starts. The narrator is going towards the city Verona, and he is traveling by car. And when they come to the outskirts of the city Verona, the narrator saw the two boys. The narrator met the two boys, and because the two boys, they were selling strawberries. But nowadays, most of the people, they like strawberries and they are eating. These two boys, they were selling the strawberries. So the narrator wanted to buy the strawberries, but the driver who was sitting beside the narrator warned him, "Sir, don't buy this, because these strawberries are good, but the appearance of the boys is not good." So he warned the narrator not to buy, and also he told them, if you go inside the city, we can purchase many strawberries in different varieties. He shrugged his shoulders to convey his disapproval of their shabby appearance, because the two boys were looking very shabby. They were looking tired, and their dresses were not in good condition. So by seeing the two appearance of the two boys, the driver and the narrator got some doubt. Of course, they are selling good strawberries, but their appearance is not good. But we know very well, appearance is not the reality. That also we must know. So we should not simply carried out by the outward appearance. We have to see what is inside. But the narrator Anyway, we are going to see how the narrator going to help them and how the narrator is going to get a lesson from these two boys. Though they were looking not beautiful, somewhat ugly. One boy had a own jersey and cut off khaki pants, the other a shortened army tunic gathered in loose folds about his skinny frame. So here tunic, they have given a meaning, tunic the appearance, their dress. Yet gazing at the two little figures with their brown skins and the tangled hair and dark earnest eyes, we felt ourselves strangely attracted. But anyway, though their appearance is not good, the narrator observed something from the appearance of the two boys. So he thought, so though the appearance is not good, their appearance is not good, we can say, let us say what they are doing and how they are selling their goods in that way. My companion spoke to the boys, discovered that they were brothers. The narrator companion, what he asked? He asked the two boys and he got information about the two boys that they were brothers. First point. Niccolo, the elder, was 13 and Jacopo, who barely came up to the door handle of the car, was nearly 12. So the two boys, the two little boys, Jacopo and Niccolo. First, Niccolo was elder and Jacopo was younger. And Niccolo was 13 years old and Jacopo was 12 years old. So how these two boys, they are in lad. You know very well there are many words because English language consists of many vocabulary. Here we can see, we can call them as a lad. For boys we can call them lad and for girls we can call them lass. There is 13 and to 19. So that age group of boys are called lad and that age group of girls are called lass. So here Niccolo was lad, but Jacopo was not. But these two boys, they were very interested in selling the strawberries. Nowadays we can see how the sellers, even not only the vegetables or the fruits, how they want to do their business, you know, and you have come across your life also later, because this is the business of day-to-day life. So in that case, you might have seen, you might have come across how the vegetable seller or the fruit seller are doing their business. In that case, these two boys, they started selling strawberries and the narrator and the driver, they wanted to buy the strawberries and they bought their biggest basket and then set out towards the town. After purchasing the strawberries from the two boys, then they continued their journey towards town. Then they, that day over, the next morning, come out of our hotel, we saw our friends, they bent over the sign boxes beside the fountain in the public square doing brisk business. So they stayed in a hotel. That day was over. The next morning, the narrator came out and he saw the two boys. What they were doing? They were shining their shoes. They were polishing the shoes. In front of the hotel, they were doing that kind of work. And they were looking very brisk. They are looking very active in doing their work only. So as students, you must always be brisk and you must always be active so that you can continue your work or your studies very well. If you are not active, you cannot do anything. And that we can learn from these two boys. So the two boys, yesterday what they were doing? They were selling the business. They were selling strawberries. But now, the next morning, they are polishing their shoes. These two little boys. We watched for a few moments. Then, as trade slackened, we went over and they greeted us with their friendly faces. So, the narrator and his companion, they both watched their activities and how they are doing the work sincerely and devotedly, because that is very, very, very important one. After some time, the narrator and his companion went near the boys, and the two boys they greeted the narrator as they were what we call as their friends. I thought you picked fruit for a living, I said. We do many things, sir, Nicola answered seriously. He glanced at us hopefully. Often we visited through the town to the Juliet's tomb and other places of interest. So the narrator asked the two boys, see, yesterday you were selling strawberries. That is your livelihood. So you are earning your life by doing this kind of business. But today I say you are polishing shoes. Immediately the two boys said, sir, we are doing many things, not only this work. So those who come as a tourist, what we have to do them? We will take them and we will show their places, and we will work as a guide to these tourists, so that the tourists will be very happy, and we work as a guides to show the other places of this in this near this town.